What's going on, Lord Moblers? All right, so in this episode, I thought it would be really good to go over our familiars. And this is the territory, the last skirmish after you beat it. This is the nice area that's going to give us some various monsters to play with. As you can see, I've already built up some of those guys. And how I'm going through these buildings, I've told you before, I do 2 Mystic Spires, I do 1 gem, automatically get that monster hold there, and then the rest of these I did turn into springs because, again, springs are going to speed up your anema, max storage, and the merging speed for your packs. So as you're building packs, the higher you get this, the faster you're going to get through your actual merges. And what are merges? So let's just kind of walk through this real quick. Pact 1A, you can look at each one of these and you can see what they provide. If I was to train this guy and then level him up, they start out at hatchling. And so when you first get one of your familiars, it's going to start out as a hatchling. And then I've upgraded Aquarius now to adult. And then after adult will come elder. But you have to get him up to level 50 to become adult. And you have to get this guy up to level 20 to be an adult. Or so 20 for an adult and 50 for a elder, not an adult. So that's what you want to do, is you want to get your guys leveled up, the ones that you care about, up to level 20. Make sure you have enough of these runes. And if you have enough runes, then you can advance them to the next level. So for him to get to elder, I need to get 80, and I only have 3 right now because I literally just upgraded him to adult. Now I have 30, and I only need 5 of those. So if he was at level 20, if I go ahead and do this, and I just pop him up, I think it's about 60. Oh, no, not even. Right there, 36. So if I use 36 of these, boom, he's level 20. Now, when I'm on him, it gives me the opportunity to upgrade. I say enhance, and he'll go up in 12 hours, or I can fast forward it and say free. Okay, boom, now he's up. Now I have 25 out of 40 necessary to get him over to an elder. And what happens is there's going to be 3 different skill sets on some of these guys. And on the first one, it's automatically available. As soon as you have that person, as soon as you merge the pact that releases them from the egg, then you're going to automatically have that. So I can quickly show you what that's like by going here, and I'm doing 1B. So I have 1A and 1B, and I've done the research for Pact 2 now. So I've got 2A and 2B. For Pact 3, there's no A and B. It's just Pact 3, and same thing with Pact 4. So those get 10 times better in my opinion. Now, I haven't actually merged any Pact 1s yet for myself. I've only done Pact 1B. I haven't done Pact 1A. And the reason for that is this guy right here, in my opinion, is the only one really worthy inside of any of the Pact 1s, whether it's A or B. This guy is really the guy that I'm after. And Aquarius, I just got him. Matter of fact, I can click on it here. I just got him up to this refreshed level 1 preview, 15 to 50 stamina. That's those hearts, right? So I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Right now I have 2 of 120, and it's going to build up until it hits 120, and then it'll stop. And you use those in the hero stages here, but you can also use them here to improve these guys. So if I want to improve Trickster, I got to either color him up, or I've got to rank him up by making sure his level meets the requirements. So he's level 39, 42. I can't do that yet. And I don't have that equipment, but if I wanted to, I could go in here and fight this person, and I'm out of them now, but I could fight that person if I had stamina right here, and I could rank him up ideally to rank 6 once he reaches level 42 that it requires to take in that trophy, right? So we've discussed that. But the reason I'm discussing all this stuff is this right here. So when you get your first familiar battle skill, you're going to get a little pop-up like this. And it's, in this case, it's the refreshed, and I've gotten it up to level 4. And so level 4 gives me 30 to 65 stamina, just like this. Boom, I got 35. So I got 5 more than the minimum. But sometimes you'll get max, sometimes you'll get min. And then that gave me 35 hearts on top of the 2 that I already had, which will now allow me to go in here and try and color him up and say, okay, well, he doesn't have any. So I'll go on to my next most important guy, which is right here. And I'll try and use as many of them as I can on him. I got 1 medal out of it. So now he is 1 medal closer to getting up to purple. Once he reaches 100, I can level him up with those medals and get purple, which again will increase those skills. At purple, I'm not quite up to rank 7 yet with him, so purple will just be, instead of getting a 45% food production, it'll jump it up to 90%. And again, we've been over that, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that one. But getting back to these, okay? So Aquarius at hatchling only had this skill available, but once I made him an adult, he had this skill available. And if there was a third skill, it wouldn't be available until he was elder. So if we go up into our packs, we can see what that looks like with one of my favorite packs. We can do pack 3. And my favorite of those are Trickster and Gemming Gremlin. This guy will give you holy stars every couple of days. You'll be able to open up random holy stars and get, once he's maxed out at level 10, grants 3 random holy stars, and the cooldown period is 2 days. So I'll click on that familiar button over there, right here, and he'll be right here, and then I'll be able to click on it, and it'll give me 3 random amounts of holy stars, and the amounts are 100, 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000. I've hit the 10,000 a few times, but never the 100,000 yet. And that becomes really useful for the labyrinth here, and going in and battling those, getting a bunch of drops from each time you hit a monster. And a lot of times there will be a hell event where I can go in here and they'll have labyrinth as one of the goals. And if you can get it all the way up, usually there's a watcher medal or a chaos dragon or something like that with those. Usually it's a watcher. So that's something to look for, but that's essentially in a nutshell what you're trying to do with these guys, is help them boost your game. Gemming Gremlin is cool because when he's an elder, when he's all the way up to this spot, he's able to give 200 to 400 gems every 3 days, but at max it's every other day. So every 2 days you get 1 to 2,000 gems. So, you know, let's say it's 1,000 every 2 days. That still equates to 500 per day, 500 extra gems every single day on average. Now, you might get more than that. You might hit the 2,000, but at least you're getting 500 extra gems per day, which is half of what you need to stay shielded forever. So he's a really, really big help. But when we're going through these packs, right, and we're looking at each one saying, okay, what does it do? This timber production is cool. I like increasing resources and how much they produce per hour. But at the end of the day, you can only produce what your maximum is. So if I go over here and I look at stone, let's say I'm building up familiars that produce more stone more quickly. Well, once it hits my maximum storage amount, once I hit that 2 million amount, it won't produce anything for me. It won't produce 0. So a lot of that ends up going to waste, especially as you get really skilled in producing various resources, especially your hyper in specific. So any type of packs that just kind of deal with resources, right? Groundbreaker increases the merging speed of packs, so that one's pretty cool. But I would probably increase his level at some point to help increase the pack speed, the merging speed. But there's going to be better things like gear to increase your pack speed. So instead of spending energy on him, you can go over here and you can look at stuff like this. Merging speed boost will be 12.5% at blue, And if I was to upgrade it to purple, it would go up to 17.5. And if I was to upgrade it still, then it would go up to 25. And I'm pretty sure that's about the maximum. No, I think you can get that actually up to orange, which will jump it up even more once you get it to mythic. So, you know, that's a way more productive way of spending your time, because it does take time to build these. Each time you're building one of these packs, it takes time to build up the both. Okay, there's two things that you're building. So when you're building packs, right? Let me go to this guy, Aquarius. When you're building packs, you're trying to get these runes so you can level up to adult into elder, and you need to have the appropriate number of runes, and you want to keep on building packs for that. But when you do get packs, you also get shards. So if I was to fast forward this here, okay, and then I'm just going to run another round on that. Let's see, I hope I was equipped. No, I'm not. Actually, let me rerun that round with the proper equipped items. These are all going to help speed up my pact merging. So I'm going to cancel the one that I just did, and I'm going to equip some of the right equipment. I need to get these built up. But what I want to do is cancel that one, 16 hours, and make it, instead of 16, we'll go for 13 hours. So that improved that by 3 hours just with that gear, and I'm just getting started on that gear. But in any case, when you merge packs, you also get these right here, fragments. And the fragments are useful for when you're building up the skill. So once you're an adult, for example, you opened up this skill. Well, now it starts out at level 1 just like Overflow, and you've got to use these fragments to level that up. You can also use runes to level them up, but unless your guy is already at Elder, you need those runes to keep advancing them to the next stage. So don't spend any runes until your guy is already to the level that you want. Instead, level up their skill by using shards, or excuse me, by using fragments. So right now, I've got 72 that it's required in order to use one of these. It actually usually starts out with like 4 or 8 or 12 or something like that. And each time you use it, the required amount goes up until the next day. So when this game resets for me at 1 p.m., yes, okay, 1 p.m., my time, when I have that reset, then the cost of each fragment or rune, because both go up at the same time. If I use a fragment, the cost of the next rune went from 1 to 2. And if I use the fragments again, it goes from 2 to 4. Or whatever it is, 2 to 5, something like that. And the cost keeps going up for each one you use. Then the daily reset comes, and it goes back down to the minimum amount. And then this level will go up to the maximum allowed, depending on their actual level. So in order to increase the skill level, you have to meet the requirements of the other skills. Let's see if I'm locked on any of these. No, I'm not locked. But in any case, in order to increase the skill, you've got to actually increase the level of the familiar. And you can do that by using, if you have any potions down here, which I already used today to level up my Aquarius. He was at level 20, and then I used a bunch of those and got him up to level 36. That way he can be on level 50 sooner. And when he hits level 50, I'll start training someone else. But that's another way that you get your familiar trained up. You go into your gym and you train them. You'll notice if I had more gyms, I'd be able to train more at one time. But then I've got to split up how many heroes are assigned to train that familiar. And I'd rather put all of my heroes onto one and maximize his training rather than divide that among a bunch of others. It also, if you have more training experience boost, more gyms will boost up how much experience you get out of the deal too. So that's why a lot of people do recommend 2 gyms. But in my experience, it's harder to get the packs that you need than it is to get, or the packs and runes that you need, than it is to get your familiar leveled up to a particular level. So I always recommend going that route and doing 2 of those and maximizing the speed with all these other springs as much as you can, instead of increasing the amount of experience you're getting and waiting for the rest of the packs. It's kind of a catch-22. It just depends on what you think is right, but that's kind of the difference there. And the last thing I'll do is I'll just kind of give you a quick rundown of my opinion of these. So if we look, this guy is going to speed up packs, which is cool, but it's not really a high focus that I would focus on. You're going to get that other ways. And then fragments are cool. This is the guy that I started with before on my main account before I knew what I was really doing. Now I only focus on Pact 1B for the Aquarius, and by the time I get him, I should have Pact 3 unlocked, and I'm going to jump up to that one to focus on those guys. And I'm going to skip over Pact 2 right now. Now you can research a little bit of each until you have every monster type, and for each familiar that you get, you're going to get a turf reward as well down here, saying, okay, you've upgraded Gym, Mystic Spire. You can see what I've done there, but also each time I get a new pack, a new familiar rather, then it gives me another completed quest there to collect. So that's really up to you, but it does take time to build each set of packs. So I focus all my energy on one type of pack that I like, and in all of these cases, this guy is number 1. Aquarius is number 1 because what he'll do is he'll give you that stamina, and once you get that stamina maxed out, let's say he's all the way up to level 60, you get a level 10 on his stamina, on his, what's it called here? Refresh. So it gives you 60 to 120 twice a day, every 12 hours. So twice a day, you're going to get that. So at minimum, you're getting 120 extra stamina every single day. So that's like having a free heart every day. But it's not just that amount, because that's minimum. You get 60 twice a day, that's 120. But you could get 120 twice in that day, and you're getting like 2 extra hearts. And so on my main account, I'm further than anybody I know with gold heroes, because that was one of my first focuses, is getting this guy in order. And it's something I strongly recommend, because heroes help in Colosseum, they help you in battles, they help you in hunting. So there's just, it pays off in dividends to focus on having your stamina go toward the right heroes and having enough stamina to get them to gold faster. Then you can buy packs, which give you, 15 for $5. We've been over that discussion as well in a previous video. But if you get 15 for $5, that's pretty awesome. You're going to be able to use 15 for a couple days in a row, and you'll see a big boost in your heroes. But that becomes expensive quick, whereas you could just have this guy, and for every single day get an extra heart, and sometimes extra 2 hearts every couple days or every day. So it again pays off in dividends. And Oak Root, again, is just going to increase the resources. Resources are all the same for me. They're just okay, but once you hit your max, that's really all that you're going to get. Stone production, this is another resource guy. Engineer does ore production. Jazik, Vault Keeper, so vault storage. This will increase how much your vault can hold before somebody, if they attack you. Right now, it's more than you should have. So my vault is 23 out of 25. I protect 1.4 million of each thing, and anything that exceeds that amount here is vulnerable to, if I get attacked, it's vulnerable to being pilfered, being stolen, being attacked out of me. That's just okay. So that's okay if you're like really concerned about keeping your resources up to a certain amount. That can increase those. Terra Spike, permanent food production, really don't like that one. your heroes are, your troops are just going to always pretty much eat more than you could ever produce. So it's a waste of time, in my opinion. Um, Gold production. If you build enough mainers at first, you're getting a ton of gold, and that runs into the same issue. It'll only produce as much as it can possibly hold. Trade route. Now this is kind of interesting. I will eventually come back to this guy later down the road because when I'm supplying people with resources or whatever, I want to maximize the speed that I can get out of these guys, and I want to maximize the amount. So anything that allows me to travel faster or to supply more, it might be in the books in the future, but it's definitely not a priority. Gathering troops, travel speed. So when you go out to gather resources, that's something that'll help you there. But again, it kind of falls to the bottom of my list. Now, here's the first one with 3. You've got to go basic hatchling, which will give you automatically an added wall defense that you can boost up. We've been over that discussion. I don't do defensive research, so my wall is weak, and that boost wouldn't matter to me. Energy regain speed, that's pretty cool. So going hunting, you only have so much energy, and it refills at its own certain little rate, but that regain speed, and again, I've discussed this in the hunting video that I did, but that energy will basically fill up right here. I'm all maxed out right now, and it'll only fill up till it maxes out. But if you go hunting a lot, that's certainly a benefit and something I would maybe do after I had already done all my pack 3s and possibly even my pack 4s if I was at that stage at that time. But pack 3 you're going to be stuck on for a little while, and I'll show you why here in a second. But Evil Weevil, I'll go through these a little bit quicker now. Did I already get through the rest of Tempest? Let's see. Tempestite. Okay. So, Fresh Air. 3,000. Now, this is interesting. You're going to get a better one in level 4 packs, but this is pretty cool to get random tier 1 troops. Every 3 days, it'll give you 20,000 random tier 1 troops. And that's pretty nice, to be honest, because those low-level troops will take the hit on deaths if you're attacked instead of your bigger T2, T3, T4s. These guys will die in their place. So that's kind of a nice little buffer and definitely something I would recommend later. Even that wouldn't be a waste of time to me if you did it first. I won't do it first, but it's certainly worthy of going through. Now, this guy, food production, don't care about. 4 hours of resources is pretty okay, and the cooldown time does decrease over as you level it up. I don't see a lot of difference between those two, so maybe if you just got him to a basic 4 hours of resources every 2 days, it might be okay, but it's nothing to write home about. Toe Tempest, timber production, we've had that conversation. It's okay. And then refreshes cargo ship. I do have this on my main account, so I didn't know this is the guy I got it from, but that's pretty cool. Your cargo ship allows you to trade up, so you pay less for and get more of something. And to be able to do this once a day would be pretty sweet. I don't have it quite up to level 10 yet because I haven't maxed out his level to level 60. But that might be worth a little bit. Again, not priority 1, but certainly worth it in the end. Infirmary healing speed, heal your guys quicker. Execution wait time, if you capture another leader and you want to execute them a little quicker, that's okay. Not something I'd focus on. Travel speed, allied troops travel speed if they're traveling back and forth to you. To like say a darkness rally or something like that, it'll increase their speed a little bit for them. That's okay. Instantly completes ongoing transmutation. So I do have this on my main account, and it has been very convenient when it hits. I'm like 2 or 3 days at my current level. When you start 4 days, and then when you get down, you do it once a day. I'm somewhere in between those. But, you know, let's say I have 3 full transmutations going in the lab. Well, I can click that if it's available, it will instantly complete one of my transmutations, and that's really helpful. So, you know, something worth having. I like it, but again, not my first focus. As I said, I would jump straight into pack 3 after I finish up pack 1. Pyrus. Now, this one's good. I don't have this yet in any of my accounts, but I've seen it used a lot, and it's really cool to be able to hit somebody even if they're wearing a shield and take down somewhere between 3,000 and 12,000 troops, and it refreshes every 30 minutes, so you can keep on using it. Now, I'm not sure if that requires skill stones, because I do have Grim Reaper from level 4, and he targets, instead of lower troops, targeting T1, T2, the Grim Reaper targets the level 4s, level 5 troops, and tries to kill them first. So that is awesome, but at the same time not awesome, not worth it at all, because the cost of those skill stones is so immense that I've used it twice and I've never used it since, because I used all the skill stones that I had saved up trying to get it, and ever since I haven't been able to collect enough skill stones to use it. It's just silly how much it costs. I don't know if this guy is the same way with skill stones, but it's kind of cool that you'll be able to, if somebody is sitting there attacking your people, you can just send a few fireballs his way. That's pretty awesome as a team, if you have like a guild with several of them. Otherwise, reduces transmutation time. That's a little bit helpful. It's okay. Extra supplies. That's nice if you're trying to supply people with resources and whatnot. It takes an extra long time to do it 2 million at a time, versus my main account has over 6 million at once that I can produce on each load to transfer a team member some resources. Boulder, stone production, meh. Again, I've gone over that. Maxes out help bar. So when you press help for construction, that'll help you a little bit. Ore production goes up. Player experience boost is okay. That's pretty self-explanatory. And the bonehead here I do use, and I don't have him maxed on my main, but he'll give you extra Coliseum entries, and that's pretty useful. So if you've done what you want out of Pack 1 and Pack 2, if you've already got Aquarius and you haven't done Pack 3 yet, then I would do Pack 2B, because you get both Pyrus and Bonehead. Those are pretty good. And Harpy, I believe, is good too. Yeah, you get some random VIP items. So every day, if you're maxed out, or every couple of days if you're not, you're going to get some VIP point items. And those are pretty nice to just level up your VIP, level it up, and you just keep on getting those gifts. Pretty all right. Shelter capacity, if you want to include more troops in your shelter, 50,000 is not a lot in the long run, but if that's something you're aiming for, it's helpful. A lot of these guys are more helpful for their army talents. So increases infantry max HP for 4 seconds when 10% of your infantry troops had fallen. And so 80% for 10 seconds when 10% of your troops have fallen. That's pretty nice to help you in battle, especially if you have this familiar plus 3 other familiars that are all focused on increasing your infantry strength or weakening the opposition in some way with a debuff. So that's something that you'll look out for. And I'm not going to go through all of these that much. Pack 3, again, I told you Jimming Gremlin and Trickstar are awesome. Goblin is good. But this is where the army talents really start to play. So increases cavalry attack by 10% when 10% of your cavalry troops have fallen. And this effect can stack. So what will happen is right here, when 100%, when 10%. So it increases your cavalry attack. So in a way that basically if you lose 10% of your cavalry troops, it'll increase the remaining attack by 100%. And so it's almost like you never lost that 10%. And then when you get down to 80% of your morale in the battle, then you'll stack another 100% on top. And then when you get to 70% of morale, you'll stack another 100% on top. And that'll just keep going, keep going. And it's almost like not losing the troops at all. The same strength that you started with those particular troops will still be there when you're down to 70% morale, or when 10%, or when you're down to 70% of your cavalry troops, you'll get a boost of 300%, whatever it is. So 90, 80, 70, yeah. So that'll be the third time 300% boost on your cavalry attack. And so as your cavalry dies, it's as if they're not dying, because the same strength of your army is attacking the other army, if that makes sense. So again, I'm not going to sit here and go through all of them. I think you can discern for yourself eventually what is worthwhile. But just being straight up and ending this video, Pact 1B to start, get that Aquarius, so worthwhile. And in my opinion, the next one worthwhile, if you haven't gotten Pact 2 going yet, try Pact 2B, and that'll get you Pyrus and Bonehead. Very, very worthwhile. And I think it was this Boulder guy that also gives you ongoing construction. No, that wasn't him. Well, one of them give you, and I guess it was Pact 2A. Yeah, Toe Tempest gives you that cargo ship. And so if you're looking to do something, one of those might be worth it on Pact 2A, 2B while you're waiting for Pact 3. But as soon as Pact 3 opens up, I would divert all my attention into getting that Gemming Gremlin or that Trickstar, and just really building those up. Griffin's pretty cool. A lot of people like him for his army talent. So increases army attack by 50%. And by 200% for 10 seconds when 10% of your troops have fallen. It really gives your guys a boost to be able to go out there and try and win that battle. In any case, that's it for this video. If you have questions or comments, go ahead and write those down in the comment section. And go ahead and hit subscribe if you like these tips, if they're helpful for you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.